The intensity is rising inside the octagon because Youssef Zalal is locked in on his path to glory. He is heading straight for a showdown with former champion Aljamain Sterling, aiming to prove he belongs at the very top of the featherweight division. Zalal is not just looking for a win, he is looking to steal the resume of a fighter who has battled the absolute best, and he is ready to make a massive statement in his first career UFC main event.
Your brand new iPhone deserves the best protection, and the iLume 3-pack screen protector plus 3-pack camera lens protector has you covered. Don't take risks with your iPhone. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Lightweight contender Alexander Hernandez is officially back and ready to move past the noise. After being sidelined by a frustrating betting scandal that saw his fight scrapped and his name dragged through the mud, the great is finally returning to face Rafa Garcia at UFC Vegas 116. He is opening up about the mental toll of being falsely accused and is now focused entirely on proving that his recent 4-fight win streak is just the beginning of his climb back to the top 15. Big changes are hitting the corner for Josh Hokit and Steve Garcia as they prepare for the high-stakes environment of UFC White House. Reports confirm that renowned coach Greg Jackson will not be in their corner for this massive opportunity. This tactical shakeup leaves both fighters looking to secure a victory on the biggest stage of their careers, while navigating the professional challenge of missing a key mentor during their walk to the cage. Rob Morneau and the team at First Strike have crunched the numbers for a packed UFC Vegas 116 card. From the tactical breakdown of Norma Dumont versus Joselyne Edwards to the razor-thin margins in the main event between Aljamain Sterling and Youssef Zalal, every detail is laid out to help you beat the bookies. Stay ahead of the movement and make sure to like and subscribe to catch all our expert analysis and final fight week predictions. Ever wonder what it takes to leap from a rising contender to a legitimate world title threat? Well, Youssef Zalal is about to find out, and he's doing it the hard way. This weekend at UFC Fight Night 274, the Moroccan Devil faces a massive roadblock in the form of former bantamweight kingpin Aljamain Sterling. This isn't just another fight. It's a high-stakes collision that could redefine the entire featherweight landscape. Zalal is currently ranked number 7, and a win over a veteran like Sterling, who sits at number 5, is exactly the kind of scalp you need to crash the elite party. But Zalal isn't underestimating his opponent. In fact, he's bracing for the most dangerous version of the Funkmaster we've ever seen. Zalal calls it a proving point streak for Sterling, noting that a guy with Aljo's resume doesn't just show up to go through the motions. He knows he's standing across from a man who has traded leather with Hall of Famers and former legends for years. It's a reality check that would make anyone blink, but not Zalal. He's looking at this mismatch in experience not as a burden, but as a shortcut to stardom. As he candidly admitted, this fight is a chance to basically steal a career's worth of credibility in one night. The narrative around Zalal's own resume has been harsh, but the math doesn't lie. He's a perfect 5-0 since his return to the UFC in 2024, with 4 of those wins coming by way of a finish. That's not a fluke, that's a statement. Despite the momentum, Zalal remains humble, admitting he's a bit of a meathead when it comes to tunnel vision. He's not one to stop and smell the roses, even when the roses are the biggest main event of his life. Luckily, he's got a team that keeps him grounded, reminding him that the boy who started this journey is now a man changing his life one fight at a time. Do you think Zalal has the tools to dismantle a veteran like Sterling? Or is the Funkmaster going to put an end to this Cinderella story? Let me know your pick in the comments below. Hit that like button if you're ready for the main event, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss our post-fight breakdown. Sometimes, it's not just about winning the fight, it's about proving that your time hasn't just arrived, it was inevitable. Imagine spending months in a career-defining training camp only to have the rug pulled out from under you on fight day, all while the world whispers that you are involved in a federal betting scandal. That is exactly what Alexander, the Great, Hernandez went through before UFC 324, and for the first time, he is breaking his silence. Hernandez is finally back to face Rafa Garcia at UFC Vegas 116, but the shadow of those bizarre betting irregularities still looms large. During media day, Hernandez didn't mince words, calling the ordeal a headache and a half. He described the stress of being caught in the crosshairs of speculation, even comparing his journey to the experience of overcoming false accusations. It is a sobering look at how quickly a fighter's reputation can be tarnished by forces entirely outside of their control. Perhaps most importantly, Hernandez addressed the elephant in the room, his contact with the authorities. He confirmed he hasn't been speaking with the FBI, noting that the Bureau doesn't exactly have a habit of issuing apologies when you are cleared of wrongdoing. But the real takeaway here isn't just his innocence, it's his critique of the current system. Hernandez points out that we are in uncharted territory when it comes to betting scandals, and he is calling for better protection for combatants who find themselves caught in the middle of unregulated prop bets and bureaucratic pressure. He's right. In an era where sports betting is woven into the fabric of MMA, who is actually looking out for the athlete when the chaos hits? Despite the drama, Hernandez is arguably in the best form of his life, riding a 4-fight win streak and looking more dangerous than ever. This weekend, he has the chance to prove that his toughest battle wasn't against the allegations, but against the doubts surrounding his career. Is Hernandez truly back to his best, or will the weight of the last few months impact his performance? Drop a comment below with your thoughts on whether the UFC needs a stronger protocol to protect fighters from these betting-related firestorms. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to hit that subscribe button for your daily dose of MMA news. Ever wonder what goes through a fighter's mind when their legendary coach is suddenly missing from their corner on the biggest night of their career? It is the stuff of nightmares, yet that is exactly the reality facing Josh Hokit and Steve Garcia as they head into the upcoming UFC Fight Night. Despite being pillars of the renowned Jackson Wink MMA gym, these two athletes will have to step into the octagon without the strategic genius of Greg Jackson by their side. Now, this isn't just a minor shuffle in the lineup. This is a massive shake-up. When you are operating at the elite level of the UFC, having that specific voice in your ear, that seasoned veteran who has navigated championship wars before, is often the difference between a victory and a devastating loss. It forces us to ask, can these fighters adapt and rely on their training alone, or will the absence of a master strategist leave a void that proves impossible to fill? We are watching a high-stakes test of composure and individual grit under the brightest lights imaginable. If you want to see how this dramatic development unfolds, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss our breakdown of the fight night action. After all, championships are often won not by the man with the loudest coach, but by the one who refuses to let the pressure define their destiny. Ready to turn some profit at UFC Vegas 116? Welcome back to First Strike, where we peel back the layers of the apex to find out where the real value hides. I'm your host, Rob Morno, and after a 2-2-1 week, we are standing tall at 47-24 for the year. The key to that record: discipline. We don't force bets on thin slates, and this week requires exactly that kind of patience. First up, let's talk Norma Dumont and Joselyne Edwards. Dumont is on a 6-fight tier, bringing a high 68% XR rating into the cage. She is a defensive specialist with a 74% head strike defense that is frankly nightmare fuel for her opponents. Edwards is dangerous, but the numbers show she gives away too many rounds. The model loves Dumont at a 63% win probability, but the -250 moneyline is just too steep to swallow. My eyes are locked on the Dumont by decision prop at -160. Given her grinding style and lack of recent finishes, that's where the smart money is tracking. Then we have the main event, Aljamain Sterling versus Youssef Zalal. Let's be real about Aljo. His legacy is complicated, but his skill is undeniable. He is moving up against a surging Zalal who is riding an 8-fight win streak and looking like a completely different fighter than his first stint in the UFC. The physical edge goes to Zalal, and while Sterling's grappling pedigree is legendary, his 45% takedown defense is a glaring stat you cannot ignore. The model gives Sterling a 63% edge, but at +125, it's not quite a tier 2 bet yet. If that line drifts toward +140, we might pull the trigger, but for now, we wait. Listen, betting on the UFC isn't just about picking winners. It's about knowing when to stay on the sidelines. If you want the full breakdown, Make sure to catch the latest episode of First Strike with myself and Dave Ross. Subscribe to the channel and follow us on X at The Robbio and at Draw Sports for those crucial last-minute updates. Good luck this Saturday, and remember, in the cage, anything can happen, but in the books, only the math matters.